Hey all you wonderful Power Appers, welcome back to another video here at Power Apps Academy. We're going to be looking at how to create step-by-step work request app. Let's say you want to get some work done by a team in the business. You've got a form for them to complete. You select which team is going to be doing the work, and then that automatically sends that information to that team depending on what they've selected in the app. So it could be like a service desk ticketing app, could be request for developers to make some an application, or marketing team to do something, or legal. It's just like a portal where someone can come to log a request and send that out. So that's what we're going to be learning how to do today. I am going to quickly hop over and show you a version of the app that's already been built, and this is actually available as a template if you want to download it and install it from Power Appify. We'll just go over there a second. Power Appify is our partner. You can get loads of business templates, all sorts of templates that you can download and customize and use to learn Power Apps and customize and develop and put in your own in your business. They're all ready to go, so you could just use them as they are. But head over to Power Apps, check that out before we hop into the actual tutorial. And guys, please, whoa, we got some funky in-depth screen there. Please hit up the likes, guys. It really helps our channel. Put a lot of time and effort into this, and YouTube relies on likes to really get our videos out there. So if you could just smash up the likes, and if you're getting value, obviously, do help us out by smashing up those likes. Right, we're gonna head over to the presentation of this app, how it works, like a working demo, and then we're going to follow on with we're going to be building it from scratch. So looking forward to working with you through that. Okay, here's the app in action. I can type in a name of anyone, so if I just start typing that in, I can select someone from my directory. What kind of app is it? Let's say it's a marketing team request app. Here it tells you what email it's going to, what date I need it for. If I put a date in the past, you can see I get an error and I won't be able to click on the submit button. So it needs to be a date in the future, so I can put any date in there. What is the priority? If I select urgent, then I need to select the urgency reason. If I don't select urgent, then it just resets that and sets it to not usable. But we want to keep it urgent for this one, and then we just put in need a new social media campaign urgently. Okay, and then if I want to attach some files, I can attach any files I want in there. I can attach as many as I want, and then I can click on the submit button. What that does, it writes all that back to SharePoint list. Here we go. If I just refresh that list, you can see it'll be added in there, hopefully, and it sends an email out. Yeah, so it's added to my SharePoint list. So I've got a history of everything that was done that I can use for reporting. And if I have a look in my, now because the email address, you can see your domain doesn't exist, so therefore it's not going to ever be delivered. But this is what it would look like. So I've got an email, it's got the reference number, new request, and then some information about my ticket in there, and that's perfect. And there's the attachment in there. That's just some random attachment. Okay, cool. So that is it, and then it sends us to that screen where we can close the app. So now we're going to head over to a blank template and start building that from scratch. Okay, before we go through the step-by-step tutorial, first, this is a template that I'm using, so it does have a few screens already created. We're going to tree view over here. You can see I've got this screen. It's got a template which has some components in it. You can, if you download this app from Power Appify, you get all this with it, so you don't need to do it. But it's just there's another video I did on creating a template. If you go through my video history, you can watch that as well. So we're just building on top of the template. Okay, so that like success screen, when I click on that's already in there. I've got some settings for my colors, and this is how I implement my colors. You can obviously just do it your way if you're just following step by step. So we've got this blank screen. Just to note, if we click on this data connections, these are the ones I've got. So you need to add in the Office 365 Outlook, Office 365 users, groups. We don't actually need that one. I'll remove it. SharePoint. These are two SharePoint lists that I've created. So I'm going to pop over there quickly. Now, if you download it from Power Apify, these are all documented step by step. But if you want to build it yourself, here's the SharePoint list. So the title, I just default work request, and there's this column which I actually need to update to log in the team email that it goes off to the requester over here, and yeah. So the requester, who that is, this is just, I think it's just text. These are all just text boxes. It's going to here. Yeah, it's just single line of text. This requester one is a single line of text. There we go. This is the date time, which includes the time here. Okay. Ticket reference is a single line of text. This is a single line of text, which is the primary request contact. This request type is a single line of text. Complete by is a date without the time. Priority is a single line of text. The urgent reason is a single line of text. And the request detail is multiple lines of text. Okay, if we just have multi lines of text. Okay, so if you can just create those exactly as you've seen them on the screen. Won't go through them again. And then the other one is the tracking number. Now there's a video. I'm not going to go into detail in this video of how we do this. You can create this over here. This and you actually go back. I'm going to link. You should see it up in your screen. A link to the video where I cover off exactly how this tracking number works. Okay, I'm not going to go into it because this warrants a video of itself. You'll need to do it to implement this. But yeah, check out the link. It should be somewhere on the screen, and that will give you exactly how to do this. Create this SharePoint list and do all the code for it. Okay, so back over here to our screen. I'm going to go to the screen view. We've done all the data connections. Those are the two SharePoint lists. You go here, add SharePoint. SharePoint. There, you click on SharePoint. You click on your connection name, and then you can just go to your site and you can add in those. I've already added them in, those two SharePoint lists. So you'd need to create those and link them into your app over here. Okay, cool. So we're going back to tree view. Now we're on our page, a blank canvas, if you will, and we're going to have to first of all just put in some labels. So we want some labels in here. Now I'm just going to change the color because I want these in yellow, and I want the size to be 11. Okay, and cool. Alright, so I need, excuse me, I need to put these up here. I'm going to make some copies. Okay, I'm just going to Control C, Control V, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want 5 of those. So I'm going to just fill in all the text that goes with them, just moving them into the right places. Okay, and then we'll tidy it all up at the end, but just give us a basic look and feel what we're looking for. So the first one, this one is going to let me just hopefully make it a little bit bigger for you guys. So this is going to be requester, and at back, let's just move these out of the way. So requester. Okay, and this one is going to be date, time. Okay, move that sideways a bit. This one is going to be ticket reference. Okay. Right, this is going to be the request. These all, like when the page opens, these are all going to be like values of information that is going to be included in our ticket. So no one will be able to change this. It's just going to be givens. So some of them will be like variables. Some will just be like this one was just going to be the logged on user. So we'll go user. Sorry, we don't want user like that, and we want full name. Cool. This one we want this one we want as date and time, so we use now, capital N. Okay, that gives us the date and time. If I use today instead of now, then it would just give me the date. And then the reference number. Now, as I mentioned before, there's another video, hopefully I'll link it up there again, which does the code for the reference number, but I've already put it on the screen. So I've gone on the, if we go to tree view, and we go to the first screen, which is this one I'm doing at the top of the screen list. If I click on it, and I go to on visible, just have a look at this, type it in, all this text, push pause, and you can just type it all out, or if you download the template from Power Apify, this will all be included. But check out the video. It tells you exactly how to work with this reference number. It basically increments the reference number that is stored in here. You can see there's a reference number. It's got the year and the date. It basically, every time you open that up, it looks at this number and then adds one. So it just increments it, and it actually looks at the date. And if today's date is this year, then it uses this. But if it's like 31st of December and it goes past 12 o'clock, then this will change to 2025, and this will go back to 01, and then it will start again, because that's how some people like their reference number to be year aligned. But that's how this does it. But you can do it other ways as well. But check out that video. It tells you exactly how to do it. But for this example, you can just copy all this code over here and just put it on the visible of your primary screen. Okay, cool. All right, so our ticket reference number is going to be the variable that we created on that, what I've just showed you there, and it's going to be the ticket reference number with year. Okay, you can see, there we go. That's auto created. That's exactly what we want. And then I'm going to insert a rectangle. Rectangle, if I can spell. And I'm just going to put that over here because that's going to make it look how we want it. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole screen. Go to reorder, send to back. Okay, that's going to send everything to the back. Cool. We're going to, I'm just going to do out one, bring that out. We want to be colored black, like the rest of the screen, and we want a border of 1, and that's going to be white. Okay, cool. All right, so that's given us, we can tidy these up a little bit. We don't want them to be bigger than they need to be. We want to align them. Okay, time, just make that there. Time. Cool. Line that up, and ticket reference. Okay. Line that up. There we go. Cool. Alright, looking good so far. Next thing we need to add is a sorry, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Next thing is, now I like to use containers quite a bit. It's basically a logical grouping of like a set of things that I want to put in my app, and then I don't need to do it here, but I might want to like hide the whole group, like the form part of this app, and if I put them all in a container, then I just hide the container and that hides everything. So I try to, when there's a logical grouping of things, I put them all in a container, and that's how I like to work. So I'm going to go here and add container. So container, there we go. Cool. Alright, there it is. Oh, I want to bring it down over here. Actually, I want to bring these out a little bit, give me a little bit more working space. Do the same with this one. Oh gosh, I'm just going to put a border around that so I can see it, make it white. Okay. Okie dokie, that's looking good. Okay, and then just move this one out a little bit. Okay, that gives us a borders what we want to work with, and then I'm just going to Control C, paste some labels in here. I need that white because this one's going to be white, and I like to shift mine aligner to the right when I'm doing these labels for drop down boxes and things. Okay, and I am going to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So another 5. Control C. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just gonna line these up a little bit. These tickets come up a little bit. There we go. We're just getting it rough at the moment, and then we will sort it out later. Okay, so this one is going to be, just going to stretch it out a little bit. Primary request contact. Oh gosh, it would help if it's actually right. Okay. Okay, this one is going to be a type of request. Obviously you guys can call this these labels whatever you want to make whatever makes sense for you, and you can add and modify. I would suggest just sticking with what I'm doing now, and then you can add and modify later, just so that everything you understand everything. So if you can just follow exactly what I'm doing, if you know how to use Power Apps, then obviously you can do whatever you want. To be completed by, stretch that out a little bit. Priority, this one. T, this one is going to be urgency reason. And then this one is going to be request detail. Request detail. Cool. Alright. The top one, primary contact, is going to be, this one's going to be a combo box. Whenever we're doing searching for people, we use something called a combo box. So we add in a combo box over here. We're not going to worry about linking it to anything just yet. We will sort that out a little bit later. Okay, so we got our combo box. Just remember, we'd like to do everything size 11 there. What is our standard size for these? I think we will make them 495. So let's just set the width to 495. Okay. combo box, and we also want to set. There's not when we do a combo box. There's a few things that we need to do. Actually, we'll come back to that because it's worth just going over how that works. Now we need to insert some drop-down boxes. I think we've got 3 altogether. So we go drop-down. Put in there, drop-down box. Let's just do the first one, and then we can copy them once we've done the first one. So they all, I put all of these kind of boxes, or need to change the combo box as well, to 30. Obviously 11 on the size of text, and then the background, chevron background, I'm just going to cut that out, and I'm going to go settings, smart bottom bar. This is where I use my settings screen to set my full colors, so I don't have to keep remembering what the values are for that. Right, cool. Alright, that's perfect. And I don't like to have a border around these, so I'm just going to remove them, 0. And then I'm going to make 2 more copies of those, Control C, 1, and Control V to paste. So I've got 3. So one is going to be priority, and the other one is going to be urgency reason. Okay, so those are done. Completed by is going to be a date picker. So just type in date. I'm going to put in a date picker over there. It was 495 on the width, just to get them all the same. 495. Cool. 30 on the height. 30 on the height, and the background of the date picker, I think it's icon fill on this one, is going to be settings, just get that fill value again. Cool, and we go back to our font size, which is 11. Oh gosh, actually you can see we've filled in something wrong there. Icon, not icon fill. We wanted that to be icon background. Cool, and we'll just make this color.white. Okay, and no border on that. Alright, we're getting there. This combo box, let's just make it 30. And we want to do the which one is it? These get a little bit confusing. Which ones to do? Color, hover, I think it's chevron fill, wasn't it? Chevron fill. Let's just drive that one. Settings, bottom bar dot fill. No, I've done the wrong one. It's the background. Chevron background, sorry. Let's just place that in there. Chevron background, then I'll just make this white again. Right, it's worth getting the look and feel of your apps good. You know, people appreciate having something that looks nice and works well with the color schemes and standard text. People don't want to come into an interface that really isn't nice to use or easy to use. So just keep thinking, keep that in mind. Keep your look and feel, all your apps that you create, the same. And that's why it's good to have a template that you just build on the template, because people become accustomed in the workflows and the colors and all that kind of thing, and it does do a lot for the company brand and your brand. Okay, cool. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Now these are all a bit weirdly spaced out, so let's start working on these to get them right. Let's get all these boxes to the right spacing. Okay, bring that one up. Yeah. And up. Okay. Not perfect, but you can sort out the spacing in your app. I'm not going to go spend too much time on getting that 100% right now. Let's just get basics in place. Right, for this one we want to pull it out a bit. There we go. Up a little bit. There we go. And request detail. Lined up. Okay, and then we need a text box for the request detail. So text box, input. So that's your text box going in here. Gonna bring that down just to be in line with everything else. Okay. Now you can see this text input's looking a bit weird, so we're going to go back in here and we're just going to make it 11. The reason why it's in the middle here is because a single line of text. We need to change that to multi-line, and that goes up to the top. Cool. So that's bringing us more in line with what we're looking for. Something doesn't feel right about the spacing. I think it's anyway. Yeah, as I said. Already carried too much weight with the spacing there. What we do need to focus on is calling all these things something meaningful. Okay, so we don't get lost in them. So this combo box is I have a naming scheme for things. So like for a combo box, it's a CBO. Always starts with a CBO, and this is going to be request contact. Okay, this is a drop down box. This is going to be a DRP for all things drop down boxes, and then a request type. The next one is a date picker, so I'll just call this one date underscore complete by, sorry. Okay, so to save, the priority one is going to be a drop down box priority, so let's go DRP underscore priority. Okay, urgency reason, it's going to be DRP underscore urgency reason. See, I'll label them as I can make sense of them when I'm referring to them later on. It always makes sense to do it as you're going by. You always think, oh, I'll do it later. You never get around to it, so just do it when you're doing it. Can be a bit of a pain, but definitely worth it in the long run. Text box, I'll start with txt request detail. Okay, cool. Alright, I think we label these as well, just the ones that are variables or that will have values in them, because we may reference them later. So let's call this one hello requester name. And this one will be LBL date time. I think this one we can call ticket reference. Okay, cool. All right, I think we've done those. I haven't put any values in them. We need to do the attachments box. Now that is a little bit more complicated. So for the attachment box, what we need to do is add a new screen. So we just go new screen. We're going to throw the screen away. It's basically just to get a control that we need in there. So we want to insert a form. So we go edit form, and then we can just use the work request app SharePoint list. It's going to bring in all the fields. Basically, we're using the controls embedded into SharePoint. We're going to pluck it out and copy and paste it into our form. So we're just going to pull all the fields in there from SharePoint. And then we're going to, you can see it doesn't have the attachments field in there. So we want to add it in. We go fields, add field, we select attachments. Okay. It's going to bring the attachment control in there. Cool. So a little bit smaller so you can see it. So we're going to take this attachment control, not the big outbox, the one inside it. We're going to cut it, Control X. It's gone. I'm going to take it back to my app over here. I'm going to Control V. I'm going to paste it in there. There we go. Cool. You can see it's in there. Perfect. I'm going to just move it down a little bit. Put it down here. Okay, and then we're going to just get a label for it. Control CV. We're going to go put it on top. Just because this one's on the other side, I'm going to align it to the left. Let's go add attachments. Right, you can see there's some errors on this box. Oh gosh, I don't want to add attachments now. Sorry. Just get rid of them. Just edit in the box. You can see it's referring to the form, so I'm just going to delete anything that comes in here. Just keep editing until you go through all the error messages. Delete them all out. Cool, there we go, it's gone. We are error free. Okay. Right, we've got that box there. That's perfect. We want to call it something. What do we want to call it? Let's call it attachments control. Add attachments. Cool. Alrighty. Okay, we're making good progress. It's takes a little bit of time, but as I said, if you want to do it properly, it's all worth it in the end. I don't like any border radius. I like to keep it the same. So if the others don't have a border, like the circular corners, keep it like that. I also want to get rid of the default text input, and I want to put a hint text. So like add your ticket add your ticket details here, ... Okay, you can see there we go. It comes in that sort of like light grey, so just some guidance or some tips of what people should do. And then we're going to go through configuring each of these boxes, right? So let's start with the combo boxes. I think I've got a border, which I said I don't like. I'll take the border away. Right, so this one, we're going to use the Office 365 users on the items. So let's go on to the items for the combo box. We're going to delete that. We're going to type in Office 365 users. Don't forget, you have to add them into your data, your connectors over here. Office 365 users connector, and we're going to type in search user v2 is the one we want. Open brackets, and just copy what I'm typing in here. We want the search term, and we're going to use whatever people are typing into the combo box. So we're going to refer to the combo box, and this is why we relabel them to the way that we do. We can see combo is the request contact dot in the search text, which is default property of that. We're going to close the squigglies, close that, and whatever value has been typed in there is what we're looking for. Okay, and then there's some additional configuration we have to do for a combo box. We have to go onto advanced. We want the search fields to be display name. So we want to be looking for the user, but we want their display name. That's what we're searching on. So when we start typing, it'll be looking for any characters that we type in the display name. Okay. Do you want to select multiple? No, we only want to select one. So make sure you put false in here. Is there anywhere else we need to put display name? Is searchable? Yes. The city, we don't want it to be just showing the city of that user. We want it to be showing the display name as well. Display name, so put display name again. And we just want to put in here start typing name. Cool. Alright, I think that's what we don't, that should work. Let's just go in here and start typing. Yes, you can see if I start typing a B, it should come up with whoever has a B in their name, and then you can just select one, and there we go. Okay, or if you click on it, you can delete it as well. Okay, cool. So that is our contact request box sorted. Next one, we've got a drop down. Now you can get the data for your drop downs from SharePoint lists or other sources, but you can also just type them into the app, and that's the easy way of doing it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to copy this so I don't have to spend all the time typing it out for you guys. I'm just going to copy it over and paste it in. You pause it here, and then you can just copy down what I've written in there at your leisure. If I go to the date box, we don't need to do anything just yet. We will do a few things, but later on. Priority box, again, this is just a drop down box. I'm just going to copy in the values that you need in there, just in the items property. There we go. We've got normal, urgent, and low, and they will be in that order unless you use a sort function to put them in alphabetical order or whatever you want to do. Urgency reason, that's also a drop down box that I've got some predefined ones. I'm just going to copy and paste those in there as well for you guys, and you can just pause it and copy it in, or add your own. Obviously add your own, yeah. Okay, but do use the default one. So you can see I've put in there select reason. There's some code that we're going to do which uses that, so just, and also the select option from list, so just try and keep it those ones the same, the default options. Okay, cool. I can see I haven't changed the size in here either. Let's just change it to 11 to keep it all the same. Alright, so we've got all the things in there. Now we also need some buttons, so let's insert some buttons. Button, we're going to have 3 buttons in here. We're going to have, oh, you can see that's put it in the container. I can't drag it out. I'm just going to Control X. I'm just going to click down here, and I'm going to Control V. That allows me to move it anywhere on the screen. Okay, cool. I'm just going to, the default sizes of my buttons should be 150 and 30. 30. And I want the radius. Now my buttons, I do want a radius on. I don't want a border, but I do want a radius. So I want that to be 5. Okay. I want my font weight just to be normal. I'll do all the settings on one button, and then when I copy and paste it, it will have all my settings on. And I want the font size to be 10. Actually 11, sorry, like the rest of them. Okay, and I want the color to, the fill color on there. If I go to fill, I want it to be settings, button dot fill. Cool, there we go. I'll just have to put in, so this one is going to be submit button. Okay, and I also want to call it BTN for all my buttons. I'll start with BTN and we'll call this submit. Okay, that's one of them. Bring it down a little bit. Okay. Control C and Control V, my second button. So I'm going to bring it a little bit over. Okay, Control C and Control V for my third button. I'm going to put it over there. So this one is going to be clear fields. Okay, and we are also going to call that button BTN clear. Okay, clear, and then this one is going to be exit. Button exit, and we just change the text on that to exit. Cool. All right. Where are we now? Where are we now? So, what else do we need? Okay, we want something on here because we're going to send this form as an email to someone, a team, depending on what's been selected. Okay, so we're going to insert another. I'm just going to copy one of these labels. Copy and paste it. I'm going to put it over here. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and I'm going to just type in something in there. I'm going to make it centralize it. I want to put a border around it. White border, one. Just because whatever they select in this box is going to say, let them know that this ticket is going to be redirected to this or sent to this email address. So we're just going to add in that text in here. So we're going to go, your request will be routed to, and then we can just go we'll create this variable var destination email. Now I've created it already, and when I showed you the screen on visible, you can see in here I've got a set var variable set var destination email blank. So basically it initializes the variable but with nothing in it. Okay. So just make sure you put that in the on visible of your primary screen, and then we also don't want it to show or be visible if this has this text, if this drop down list has this as the selected text, because there's obviously isn't an email to be sent to, so we don't want it to be visible at that point. We want to hide it. So we're going to go down here to the visible property of this. I'm going to use an if statement. I'm going to go if our drop down box, because now we know, because we've called them all the names that we know. What is it? Request type dot selected. So whatever's selected in the request type, whatever's showing on there, dot value, whatever the value of that is. So if that value is equal to the string select option from list, must be exactly the same, right? Caps and everything. So if it is that, then do we want it to be visible? No, false. Okay, we don't want it to be visible. But if it's something else, anything else, then we do want it to be visible. that means we've selected something. Okay, cool. Alright, so now it's invisible because we've got select option from list, which is our default option there. But if I drop that down and select something, then it becomes visible. Now we haven't set the email addresses up just yet. We also want to add that onto this drop down box. So we're going to select it, but we want to go on change property. You can see nothing happens when it changes at the moment, set to false. But we want to we want something to happen, right, when we select on change. And again, we're going to use an if statement, and we're going to set our variable. So we're going to go for each value that's in our drop down list. If it's that value, then set a specific email address to that variable, so it knows where to send it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you one, and then I'm just going to copy and paste them all in there because I don't want to spend too much time repeating over things. So we're going to use an if statement. Okay. So if drop down list request type dot selected dot value, exactly the same logic as before, dot value, whatever the value is in there. If the value is equal to select an option, oh gosh, what was it again? Just go back in here. Select option from list. You've got to get it exactly the same. Oh, don't forget to put it in quote, select option from list. If it's that, okay, then we want to put in our value of that if statement, and we want to set the variable. Use the same variable name as we started. All my variable starts with var, but we've already set this variable on that screen. Okay, so we called it var destination email. So we want to set that value to blank. Okay, now if you want to set it to blank, you just go blank, and then you go boom boom brackets brackets. Okay, so if it's default, again, it's just going to keep it blank, which is fine. That's what we want. Right, if it's set to, now I've set these values up. Okay, now I'm just going to there's not sure in there, and if it's not sure, it's going to go to service desk. So I've set all these values up. I'm just going to copy and paste them. You can just copy this, and it basically sets the email addresses for each of the options that we've chosen in there. Okay, depending on what they select, it'll set the value of the variable to that email address. So if it's IT team request, then it's going to set the email address to IT service desk. If it's the legal team, it's going to set it to legal. Now you come in here and you update these email addresses with whatever your team email addresses are and at your domain. Okay, so these ones you'll need to customize. So if it's service desk at whatever your company.com is, that you need to come and make those modifications in here. Okay, and then that will send it to your email address. Cool. So I'm just going to click on that. I'll show you how it works now. If I select IT team, there we go. Your request will be routed to IT. Well, it doesn't look very nice. There's no gap in there. I need to go back and click on here, and you can see on, I need to go to the text part. Text. I need a gap. I need a space in here to make it look nice. Okay. If I go click in here, there we go. You can see now it's put a space in there. Cool. So just go again, whichever one I select. If I go back to select from list, it disappears because we set that visible, legal, and now it's going to use this when we program it to send all this data to by email. It's going to use that email to send it to, okay, as a variable. Right, I've done that one. Priority normal, that's fine. Now again here, if we only want this urgency reason to be available for selection if this is set to urgent. Okay, if it's set to urgent, then we want this to be selectable. If this is not set to urgent, then we want this one to be grayed out. Okay, so to do that, we're going to click on here, and we are going to go to display mode property. Okay, so we're going to go and we are going to, sorry, 1 second, please bear with me. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to go if statement. You always use ifs, guys, so just get used to using ifs. They're really important in apps. So if the priority drop down box, dot selected dot value, whatever values in there in that priority drop down list, if that is equal to urgent, okay, then display mode is in edit mode. Otherwise, display mode is disabled. Okay, so close that off. We can see if it's an urgent, then if this says urgent, then put this one in edit mode. Otherwise, put it in disabled mode. Let's see how that works. So if I go into anything else, you can see that just grays it out. Okay, but we also want to think on change of this, right? So you can see like this is normal, but the value of this is still external audit, right? Someone might come in and change their mind, and then that one still has the wrong value, and I've gone to low and it still has external audit on. So we want to reset that if someone that value if someone changes this. Okay, so what we do on there is we go on this priority drop down list over here, we go to the on change property, and we're going to put in another if statement. So if drop underscore priority, that same old sequence, dot selected dot value. That's how we just basically looking for text in that drop down box. But this time we're going if it's not equal, right, to urgent. So if it's anything else then urgent, what we're going to do, we're going to use a reset. So we just reset that drop down box, which is going to take it to the default value, okay, which is whatever's at the list, which is select an option or whatever we put in there. So reset the drop down box, we know what it's called, urgency reason, close that, close a bracket, there we go. Cool, so let's just play that. So if it's anything other than urgent, normal, there, goes down to select reason. Okay, cool, but if we go into urgency, urgent, we can select our reason and it stays. If we come back and go, actually no, it's not urgent, it's low, then it grays it out and defaults. That's exactly what we want. Cool. Alright, that's looking good. The other thing that we want to do is, like, we don't want to put a date for a ticket in the past, okay? So we want to make sure it's in the future. So let's add in a little error message. We can insert a label. Let's just use one of these. Copy and paste. Control C. Control. Oh, actually. What happened there? On Control C, I'm going to click outside the box. Control V. Outside of the container, so I can put it down here. I'm gonna make it the length of that, put it in the middle, and then we're just gonna say error select date in the future. Okay, and we want that one to be red. So we're going to select red on that. Okay. Right, so that's in there. Now how are we going to know if we need to make this one visible? So we go, we look at this and we go, it's visible. We don't want it to be visible unless the date's in the future. So we're going to go into here and we're going to go onto the visible property and we're going to go another if statement. So if the date completed by dot selected date is less than today, you can use the function today to get that, then we want the visible to be true, otherwise the visible to be false. Let's see if that works. Cool, so we'll go back in here. Let's pick a date that's, today's the 30th, so let's go to the 28th of June. Cool. So there we go, we've got an error in there. That's exactly what we want. We've done that. I think we are ready to start working on the buttons now. Right. So let's start with exit because that's the easy one. Oh gosh, nothing in there. We want to just use the exit function. Okay. Exit. Keep it nice and easy. Exit. Boom. There we go. That will. You have to be running the app as an app, not within Studio. If you like push play and click and exit, it's not gonna work. It's only if you publish the app and then you click on it, it will close the app down. Clear fields. If someone's typed out a whole lot of stuff and they don't have to go back and delete everything, this is just a nice to have. And you're going to use that reset function that I used before. Okay. Again, I'm not going to. It basically just resets. I'll type in one and then I'll copy and paste in the rest, and you can just copy them in. On select, just go reset, and then the name of the property. So the drop down box. We have a drop down box called or the combo box. Combo request contact. That's all you have to put in, and when that clicks, it'll just reset. If there's a name in there, it'll just reset. It'll just delete the name. We want to do one for each of our boxes and any variables. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste these in just to save time. Copy and paste them in. Attachments control underscore attachment. What have I called mine? Something different. Control attachment. Okay, there we go. It's got everything in there. That's going to reset everything. And now for the submit button, which is obviously the most important. It's got all our things in there that we want to do. I've added a spinner in here into my app template. Therefore, when you see the spinner, it's just basically when I click the button, a little image. If you download the app, you'll get that with it, but it's not important. I will put that spinner in. I'll just put the right. So we're on the submit button, and we are going to do the on select. Right, this is all our code for on the button. As I said, if you got the thing, you'll have the spinner in there, but it's not important. You don't have to put that in. Then we want to do a clear collect, which is basically taking our attachments and loading them into memory. Okay, so we do a clear collect, open brackets. Oh gosh, that's not what we want. Okay, we want to do our collection name, which we want to call collect attachments. Okay, and then what items do we want to add? We want to add our attachment control dot attachments. Okay, and then we want to close those brackets. Okay, so that's something you just need to add. Why isn't that working? Attachments, controls. Sorry, because I need to add in the attachments on that. Okay, there we go. Just copy that in. Next is we want to send the email. Okay, now we're using the Office 365 Outlook SendMail version 2. Right, there it is. Okay, open up the brackets. We want to, what is R2? So what is going to be R2? It's the variable that we captured, right, that captures in the email address. So we just want the variable in there because that's going to have the email address we want to use to send it to. That's easy enough. And then we wanted our subject. So what do we want in our subject? Okay, we want to type in a string. So we want new work request with our reference number, and we want to call our, I think we label ticket reference, and we want the text. Okay, so there we put in that that string in. So in the subject of the email, it's going to say new work request, reference number, and then we're going to append the ticket reference number that we've created in our app and put it into the subject line. So that's what the LBL ticket reference, which is just we go back, is this over here. Yeah, LBL ticket reference and the text that's in there. So whatever the value is. Okay. So next, comma. I haven't finished with the email yet. Now we want to put in the body. Okay. If we go, now's the body of the email. Now we're just going to type in some HTML into the email. Okay. You just copy it in. It basically uses some basic HTML. This B means the start of what you want in bold. I'm going to put in a string. That's why I put it into the quotes. I'm going to go request. Now I'm going to do this for each of my each of the drop-down boxes for each bit of information I've created in my form. I'm going to present it in the email. So request date and time. Okay. Put there. Close the bold. Oh, sorry. Close the bold like that. Okay. Start the bold. Close the bold, and then leave a space. Oh, sorry. Yeah, got that. The time, and then I want to add in whatever the time is when I send this. Okay. So I use the now function. So there I've got my now. Okay. Next I want to add in a space with my next row. So to do that I'm going to use BR. So this is just HTML programming. Okay, you can just copy this BR. That's going to put in two spaces. So it's going to be a line in between it. And I also want to do it in bold. And I want my next one to be, what is the requester? I need to close my bold off. Okay, leave a gap because we don't want it to be all bunched up. And then what do I want to append to that? I want the user. Who's my requester? Whoever's logged in. Okay, dot full name. Right. Next, we want to start the next one, which is going to be another new line, BR. Okay, and then bold, and then we want to primary contact for request, okay, close the bold, Okay, there, and we want to assign that to the whoever's in the combo box, whoever's in the selected value in the combo box. Okay, request contact dot selected dot display name. Okay, this is because it's a combo box, so we can get the properties of whoever was selected. So we could put an email address or whatever, but we're going to use their display name in this example. Okay, cool. And next one, we are going to add in the new line one, another new line. We want the bold in again. Okay, and then it's going to be where do we get to? Request type, I think. Type. Close off the bold. Okay. Space. Request type, and then we want to append the drop down list of whatever the request type was. Dot selected dot value. Okay, and then the next one is date to be completed by. So we want to add in the new lines again and the bold. Date to be completed by. Close the boldness. Okay, and then we want to append our date selection to put date to be completed by dot selected date. Okay, that's all we need to put in there. And then next is we want to put in the priority. Okay, new lines again, BR and bold and priority T that close the bold space. And what are we going to assign to priority? It's going to be the drop down list value, right? Drop down priority dot selected dot value. Okay. A little bit tedious typing all of this up, but we're nearly there. Okay, and what's the next one? The actual detail of the request, which is again very important. BR, two new lines, and then boldness. Request detail. Okay. Close the boldness. And then close that off, and we're going to add in the text request detail dot text. Cool. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that part of it. Next is the attachments, because we want to include the attachments to email as well. So we're going to click on attachments. I'm just going to actually change the formatting here a little bit just to make it a bit easier. We're going to go add columns. Okay, open a bracket. Just copy this in. It's just something that you just need to understand it necessarily. We're going to go down one, rename columns, open brackets again. Okay, and then we're going to go attachment control, attachments dot attachments, comma, and we're going to go on here, and we're going to type in value. Okay, we'll put another comma, and then we're going to go to content type, content bytes. Content bytes. Okay, I'm going to go down and we're going to go under the rename. Yeah, close, comma. Okay, and then we're going to go like this at odata.type, close, single quote, comma, space underneath, and then like that. And then we're going to go back one, close, space, back one, close squigglies, back one, back, 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 close. Right, hopefully we've got that right. Let's check. Any errors so far? No. Alright, fingers crossed. Shall we test it? Shall we test it? Yes, let's test it, see where we are at. Okay, so we want to type in a name. Barry, hello world, exclamation mark. Let's touch a file. Cool. Oh, touch. There we go. Submit. There's the little spin I was talking about. Let's see if something happens. Oh, I heard something. That's good. So, let's go to Outlook. And we have something happening at the right time. That's now. Cool. There we go. You can see our reference number in there. Obviously, the email address that we're sending to doesn't exist, so the email is not going to work. But if I click on email here, there we go. Hello world. It's got everything in it. Everything's. You can see there's a gap between everything, and those are those new lines that we're putting in. You can see the bold. The actual type is bold, and then the rest is just a normal text. Most excellent. All right, so that's working. Now we need to go back, and we also want to add in. You can see the spinner hasn't closed because we haven't finished our code, so I'm just going to carry on spinning. Okay, so we're going back onto the submit button, and we also want to write everything into SharePoint as well. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use the patch command, and we are going to open that up, and we are underneath. Sorry, let's get the spacing right. So our table work request app that we've already linked up. So we are going to use that, and we are going to go defaults. Basically, what defaults does when you're patching is writes a new row into the SharePoint list. Okay, which is what we want. So every time we do this, we want a new row in the SharePoint list. That's what default's telling it to do. And we just go defaults in the same SharePoint list, which is our table work request app that we've linked in, which is good. And then we want to go from here. Well, what is it that we want to patch into SharePoint list? Okay, and now it starts looking. Sorry, I'm just going to go back. Now I just have to type in those column names in our SharePoint list. Here they are. Sorry, it's the wrong one. This one here. So each column is going to have. I'm going to link it with something that exists in my Power App. So okay. So we want like the title. I'm just going to use that to put in a string of text. This is going to be work request. Okay, that's just going to be default. Then a comma. Don't like this new thing that they've done. It keeps auto suggesting stuff. Right, next we are going to put in requester. So requester, you can see there's a column in my SharePoint app called requester, and I'm going to link that to my label. Requester name dot the text of in there. Okay, comma. Okay, next is going to be request to date time. This is another column in my SharePoint list, and I'm going to just use the now to put in the date and time of when this was actually written. Okay, sorry, that's a comma. Oh, don't do that. Okay, next is the ticket reference number. We want to put it in there. Ticket reference is the label ticket reference dot text. Okay, comma. Okay, next it is primary request contact, and I'm going to map that to the combo box selection dot selected, and this time I want to show the mail instead of the name. I want to use the email address, so I can just select the email address. So in the SharePoint list, it's going to store the email address. That's right, and then it's going to be request type. Request type is going to be whatever's in the drop down box. Request type dot selected dot value. Okay, I think I wanted to put in the destination email. Was it destination email target team email, and that was going to be the variable destination email. I'm going to capture that. Request type complete by, that was going to be the date complete by dot selected date, comma. Okay, the next one is going to be priority, which is going to be the drop down list for priority dot selected dot value. Okay, oh gosh, don't do that. Okay, next one is urgent reason. That is going to be drop down list urgent reason dot selected dot value. Okay, and then last, I think, request detail, finally at the end dot sorry, text underscore request detail dot text. Alright, and you don't put a comma at the end of this one because it's the last, and we're going to close off the squigglies, and then we're going to close off the other bracket, the patch bracket, and then we're going to put that in. Alright, that is looking promising. And then there's a few other things. We want to do the resets after we've sent. Okay, we can just copy these out of the other the reset button, just put those in there. Reset your fields, just make sure that everything matches up. Attach controls dot attachments. Okay, okay, and then we want to navigate to our success screen, which I'd already created. Navigate, sorry, screen, what was it called? Screen underscore success. Yeah. Transition none. Okay, and then we lastly wanted to hide the spinner. As I said, you don't have to do it, but I just need to update context, which is another variable on the local screen. Oh, the reason that's not registering is because of that. Okay. Update context. Okay, and var spinner on. And we want that to be false. So don't, as I said, if you don't not using the spinner, don't worry about that. I'm just adding it in. Okay, cool. So what this is going to do is going to send the email out, and it's going to reset the fields. It's also going to write everything to SharePoint, and there we have it. That's and then go to our screen. So let's just play this quickly. Let's see how it's going to work. I'm going to clear all the fields. I'm just going to submit it quickly and just come back to that screen just to get rid of that spinner. Okay, so let's. Oh, something is not liking in there. Let's have a look. See what that is. So function has an invalid parameter to blank value was. Strange. Okay. Let's just play it quickly. Let's just see what happens. Select name, HR team, in future, normal, this is a test, add an attachment, cool, submit. Okay, that seems to work. Everything's in there. Right, this is a test. Okay, so that's working as expected. It's gone over to the close screen. Let's go back over to the home screen. Okay, it was just probably because I'd reset all the fields in there. You can see there's no error mark on that at the moment. Now there is one final thing before we close, something which might be useful, which I've done. If I go to the submit button, we obviously don't want to allow people to click on that if they haven't completed all of the necessary fields. So if you go to the display mode, okay, on this button, and you go into where is it, display mode on there. Okay, you can put in another if statement. I'm just going to copy and paste it in there because I know this video is going on a little bit, and you can just put in here the different fields. So if your if your value of your drop request type is equal to select option from list, which means I haven't selected anything, these two lines mean or. So if any of these values are true, then it's going to make this display the button unclickable. Put it into disabled mode. Otherwise, it'll if all of those are not those values, then it will be true, and then people can click on it. So this just makes sure that a contact request has been selected, the date by is not less than today, the fields can't be blank where they where they need to be selected. So you can just copy that into the display mode field, save your app, publish it. Do check out there's a digital launchpad, which is something that fits into Teams, and you can put all your apps into there and all your links to it. It's like an interface for all your things. Check it out on Power Appify. It's called Digital Launchpad. Download it. I think it's free. Check it out there. But there's the app. That's how you do it. Thanks for sticking around this far, guys. If you got any questions, hit up the comments. Do remember to like the video if you got value in it. And you know, if you need the template, head over to poweramplify.com. Otherwise, you've got everything you need in this video to create the app for yourself. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it valuable. Have an excellent rest of day. Catch you guys later.